Hello, dear students. Good morning to all of you. As we have learned about the management, its objective functions, not functions, its objective features in the previous class. Now, today, we will learn that whether management is an art or a science. Now, let's start. First of all, think about the art. As we know that the art is a kind of theoretical knowledge, or it has the existence of theoretical knowledge. It means in every art, systematic and organized study material should be available compulsorily to acquire theoretical knowledge. Like if we are studying any art related term, first of all, we have to study its background, its theoretical approach, how does it come into the existence. These terms. Management is also is an art where theoretical approaches are there. So many persons has given the theoretical approaches which management follow. Second is personalized application. The use of basic knowledge differs from person to person, and thus art is a very personalized concept. It means it depends on the individual that how they are taking care of that particular thing. Suppose that if I am teaching accountancy, if I am teaching BST, and if other is teaching accountancy and BST, this is the matter of art, that how I am delivering and how others are delivering. So it will vary from person to person. The use of basic knowledge will be different. The content will be same, but the way of presentation will be different. Now, third point is based on practice and creativity. Art is completely based on practice. Suppose that so many of you have opted painting as your optional subject, then only to study the theoretical concept that how mithila painting or steel painting or digital paintings are come into digital painting come into the existence. Instead of this theoretical concept, we need much and more practice. We think being more creative regarding this so that our practice can be done and we can think more and more about the available facts. So it is completely depend on the practice. While doing painting, you try to prepare one object or one item so many times till it becomes correct or perfect according to you, according to others. In management, also a huge volume of literature and books are available on different aspects of management. Every manager has his own unique style of managing things and peoples. Yes, the way of managing the things and the people are different. Each and every manager's thing each and every managers has their own style to manage the work, to manage the people. Each and every manager has studied the management or learned about the management in the same way, but their style is different, their thinking is different, their work process is different. So many times you will see that few are believing in theoretical approach, where others are believing in practical approach. So it is an art, depends upon the skill and applications used for growth and development of the management. Now, we can say management is an art, but management is not only an art. Management is also a science. Management is also a science. As we have studied science, that includes a systematized body of knowledge, a system, a sequence, a path is going to be followed in science. Suppose that if we have to make any chemical reaction, if we have to prepare a compound, we have to go through the sequence of the reaction. Until or unless we are not going through the sequence of the reaction, it may be hazardous. So management is also a kind of science, because it is the systematized body of knowledge. It based on principles and whatever experiments have been done previously. This is the learning outcome from the previous experiments, and this is also based on experiments and observations. Especially in scientific principles are developed through experiments and observations. When workers are working at the workplace, how they are working, what is their problem. Until or unless without the observing these things, it is quite impossible to explain it or to make it more smooth, or principle cannot be developed or any experiments cannot be done. In this regard, F.W. Taylor's theory is completely useful, where they taught about the work study. In this work study, they taught study of time, study of motion, study of fatigue, etc. And these all can be done by observing the subordinates or employees on the workplace. So management is an art and a science too. But today, management is also going to be accepted as a profession. Today there are so many professional managers are there. So many people are engaged in management activities. They are learning, they are developing their skills and trying to be the part of the management. Here, professional means management is going to be occupied as occupation or used as occupation for which specialized knowledge or skill are required, where entries are restricted, where the people are doing their work with well-defined body of knowledge, where the entry of the in the every profession is restricted, and these all are going to be examined through some basic educational qualification and which is going to be decided by the professional association. Like today we are doing MBA. So many people are doing MBA from different colleges and different streams. And why? Because they wanted to contribute in the management. They wanted to opt management as profession. And so many managers are working in different management activity, working in different organization or enterprise as manager, where they are bound by a code of conduct, where they are under some ethicology which they have to follow, which motive is to provide their services for growth and development of the organization, and for this they must have a particular education, degree, license, whatever is required. So now students, I think that you all have better understand it, that management is an art, a science, or a profession. Today these all are existing, and we can say management is an art, a science, and a profession is also. Now, if we are talking about the management, now we should have to learn about its levels. That is known as level of management. Basically, level of management has been categorized under three categories. That is top level management, middle level management, and lower level management. And this is the function and system of hierarchy, where authority provide the instruction in downwards, and the responsibility is fulfilled, or the people or the persons are responsible in upward situation. Here you can see a diagram, a pyramidic diagram, where in the first column top level management is given. The top level management, where only the heads of the institution or the policy makers, plan makers are there, like chairperson or managing director, chief executive officer, CEO, chief operating officer, or any other person, those who are equivalent to them. because they are there to make the plans, to frame the plans and policies for smooth functioning of the organization. Now second is middle level management. Here you can see middle level management. This level of management is generally used for interpretation of plans. It means whatever plans or policies have been formed by the organization or top level management, they have to interpret it, that how these plans and policies can be used, how these plans and policies will be effective, and how the goals can be achieved. These things are going to be decided by middle level management. And at last, lower level management is there, where they used to execute or implement the plans or policies made by top level and interpreted by middle level. It means most of the time the top level management instructed their plans and policies to middle level management, and middle level management, after making the interpretation analysis of the plans, they simply deliver these plans to execute to the lower level management, where the lower level management works with the workers to get the organizational goal, to achieve the organizational goal. And this is the way of the authority follows in organization, but responsibility follows in upward situation. That is, lower level management is always answerable for middle level management, and middle level management is answerable for top level management. Now, in middle level management, generally departmental heads like marketing heads, financial heads, administrative heads are there. These are under middle level management. And lower level management, it consists worker, supervisor or foreman or any specific advisor who observe the work, that whether it is going to be done in proper way or not. If we talk about the school management, it will be good to understand it very easily, as we are talking about the head of the institutions, our school. They are on the top level of management. They used to make the policy that how to run the school, how to take proper care of the students, how to make the policies, how the school will be more beneficial for students and parents, and it will contribute in the growth and development of the society. Now these terms are going to be planned, policies are going to be made by head of institution. And on the middle level of management, our principal and vice principal is there, where they used to interpret the plans, whatever policies has been made by the top level management. They used to interpret it, that how it can be effective or how it can be done effectively, how they can get the work done. And we the teachers are under lower level management, who has to execute the plans, or who has to follow the instruction, whatever instruction has been given by principal and vice principal. So students, I think all of you have got it. The top level, middle level and lower level management. I think you all have no any problem. If still you have any problem, you can make the changes in the text and you can ask to me. Thank you.